Welcome to African Folktales and Histories by Esther. Like, subscribe, and share. After the customary rites, Adu's spirit arose from her grave. The night was still, the air thick with the scent of earth and moonlit leaves. Drifting silently through the woods under the pale moonlight, she arrived at a new village called Iala. In her ghostly form, Adu appeared as a radiant young woman in her early 20s. In life, she had been known for her kindness and laughter, a melody so bright it could lift the spirits of anyone around her. Her life had seemed full of promise until one fateful evening when a sudden illness struck her down. Despite the tireless efforts of the village healer, Adu's strength faded, leaving her family and the entire village shrouded in sorrow. The elders, wise in the ways of the spirit world, performed the customary rites with solemn prayers, believing her soul would find peace in the afterlife. Yet, the mysterious ways of the spiritual realm often lie beyond mortal understanding. Unbeknownst to all, Adu's spirit remained restless, tethered by an unseen force. Drifting away from the village she had once called home, she wandered the woods, her ghostly form glowing softly in the moonlight. It was as though an invisible force guided her forward, away from all she had once known. For days, she traveled, slipping silently through the shadows, until she reached a new village, a lively settlement with bustling markets and warm, welcoming people. This was Iala. The village seemed to glow with life, a stark contrast to the heavy sorrow she had left behind. In Iala, Adu felt an inexplicable sense of belonging. She had no memory of her past life, only a deep yearning that lingered in her heart. Without knowing why, she decided to start anew in this place, leaving behind the fragmented pieces of her former existence. The villagers welcomed her warmly, charmed by her quiet grace and unassuming nature. Her presence was like a soothing balm, and even without words, she had a way of making those around her feel at ease. She soon caught the attention of Oko, a kind-hearted farmer who sold yams in the bustling market. Oko was captivated by Adu's mystery and the soft light in her eyes that seemed to hold untold stories. He began visiting her daily, bringing small gifts, a basket of ripe yams, a bundle of freshly picked herbs, or a delicate carved trinket. With each visit, he shared tales of his life, his dreams, and his love for the land. Over time, Adu's heart softened. Oka's laughter, his steady presence, and his unspoken kindness drew her closer. Their bond deepened, and before long, they were inseparable. The villagers, charmed by their love story, spoke of them with admiration. One day, beneath the shade of the towering baobab tree, Oko asked Adu to be his wife. Tears glistened in her eyes as she nodded, her heart filled with hope. Their wedding was a joyous occasion. The elders blessed their union, invoking the spirits to protect and guide them. The villagers celebrated with music, dancing, and a feast that lasted until dawn. For the first time since her arrival in Iala, Adu felt at peace, a peace that seemed to fill the void within her. Time passed, and Adu and Oko's love flourished. They were blessed with 2 children, Oba, their firstborn son, whose laughter was like sunshine breaking through the clouds, and Abani, their daughter, who had her mother's bright eyes and her father's calm spirit. Adu poured her heart into her family, cherishing each moment with them. Life in Iala was vibrant. The days were filled with the simple joys of village life, tending to the fields, sharing meals, and celebrating the harvests. Yet, in quiet moments, shadows of Adu's past would creep in, whispers of another time, another life. One bright afternoon, as Adu strolled through the bustling market with her children, a voice called out her name. Adu! Her heart froze. Turning slowly, she saw a man staring at her in disbelief. It was Edu, a cousin from her former village. Time seemed to stand still as their eyes met. Edu's face was a mix of shock and confusion, his voice trembling as he whispered, "Is it really you?" Memories flooded back. Edu's heart pounded as fragments of her past resurfaced, the laughter of her family, the faces of her loved ones, the illness that had claimed her life. She had thought she had left it all behind, but here it was, staring her in the face. Fear gripped her as she realized the truth. Her time in Yala had come to an end. The spirit world had found her, and she could no longer remain among the living. Without a word, she turned and began to fade, her form dissolving like mist under the morning sun. The market erupted in gasps and murmurs as the villagers watched in astonishment. Edu was gone, leaving only an empty space where she had stood. Oku, who had been busy at his trade, rushed to the market upon hearing the commotion. When he arrived, he found his children standing alone, bewildered and frightened. Clutching them tightly, he searched for answers. Edu, pale and shaken, recounted what had happened. "She was my cousin," he said. "She died years ago, and yet, she was here." The villagers grew uneasy, whispering of spirits and mysteries. That evening, the elders gathered in a secluded corner of the village to discuss the strange events. They spoke of spirits who wandered far from their resting places, and some speculated that Edu had come to Yala to fulfill an unknown purpose. Oku, distraught and seeking answers, attended the council. He poured out his heart, speaking of his love for Edu and the life they had built together. The elders listened patiently before advising him to perform a ritual to cleanse his home and protect his children from any lingering spirits. Desperate for peace, Oku sought out Moore, an old woman known for her knowledge of the spirit world. Moore listened intently as he recounted his story. When he finished, she nodded solemnly. "Some spirits linger," she said, "to complete unfinished business or to live the life they could not in death. Your love bridged the gap between worlds, Oku. But now, you must let her go." Following Moore's advice, Oku visited the sacred grove, carrying offerings of kola nuts, palm wine, and candles. Kneeling among the ancient trees, he poured out his heart to the spirits, asking for understanding and forgiveness. He stayed there until dawn, his prayers mingling with the rustle of leaves and the calls of night birds. Though he received no answers, a strange calm settled over him. That night, Oku dreamed of Edu. She stood at the edge of a shimmering river, her form radiant and ethereal. "I cannot stay," she said softly, her voice like the wind through the trees. "I was never meant to belong here. But I will always watch over you and our children. Let them know their mother loves them." When Oku awoke, he felt at peace. Though he mourned Edu's absence, he accepted that her spirit had found its place in the world beyond. He resolved to honor her memory by raising their children with the love and strength she had shown. Life in Yala gradually returned to normal. The villagers spoke of Edu in hushed tones, and some claimed to see her ghost wandering the fields at night. Others believed she visited her children in their dreams, a gentle, protective spirit watching over them. In this way, Edu became a part of Yala's lore, a tale of love, loss, and the delicate veil between worlds. Hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more.